Coral reefs are unique and complex structures, many millions of years old, supporting a huge and diverse ecosystem. Corals are made of 100 to 100,000 individual animals called polyps. They have algae called zooxanthellae living in their tissues. The coral provides the algae a safe home and compounds it needs for photosynthesis. This produces oxygen, glucose, glycerol, and amino acids that the corals need to make protein, fat, carbohydrates, and calcium carbonate to survive. Coral reefs support thousands of the animals and organisms in the sea, including 4,000 species of fish and 800 types of hard corals. Scientists use some of these to find new medicines and cures for diseases. Coral reefs also work as buffers from storms and floods and support the tourism industry. Massive corals only grow 0.3 to 2 centimeters a year, and branching corals grow up to 10 centimeters. This is really slow, and it takes thousands of years to develop a large coral reef. They need very specific conditions to live and grow. Coral reefs don't like water temperature below 18 degrees Celsius, are just right in 23 to 29 degrees, and can survive up to 40 degrees Celsius for a very short period of time. The water cannot be too rich in nutrients, but just enough, and they need saline water, but it should still be very clear so the maximum amount of light can shine through. This is needed for photosynthesis. Humans are hurting and destroying the coral reefs. Fertilizer runoff and pollutants can get into the water, providing too many nutrients. This makes the algae overgrow and smother the coral. Plastic bags and litter in the ocean can do this too. There are bad fishing methods, like dynamite fishing, which shatter the corals, or cyanide fishing, which kills the coral polyps and algae. Even some chemicals and sun creams can harm the coral reefs and cause bleaching. These chemicals can accumulate in the tissues of coral, fish, and dolphins, and damage sea urchins and mussels too. It can also stop algae from being able to photosynthesize and provide all the good ingredients that the corals need. Global warming is especially bad for the corals. If the sea temperature rises 1% per week for 4 weeks, the corals bleach, and in 8 weeks, they die. Coral bleaching is where the corals get stressed and expel their zooxanthellae algae. They turn white as it's the algae that gives the corals their bright colours. This makes them very weak, and they lose all the help and nutrients that algae gives them. As of the harmful effects humans and the warming ocean are having on them, we are losing our coral reefs rapidly. 80% of all the corals in the Caribbean have been lost in the past 50 years, and the Great Barrier Reef in Australia has halved in the past 25. Corals can recover from bleaching, but to save our coral reefs, we need to act quickly. Little things we can do can make big changes. Don't buy into the coral market for fish tanks at home. Support sustainable fishing, and avoid damaging sun creams. Aerosol sunscreens spray much more than needed onto the sand, and it gets washed into the sea. Stick to creams, check your sun cream labels before you buy, and avoid these chemicals. Try find sun creams that don't have nanoparticles. These are tiny pieces that can be absorbed by the animals in the sea. Look for sun creams with zinc oxide or titanium dioxide in the ingredient list, or try put the SPF in your outfit, wearing hats and UV protection sunwear. Protect the corals so they can thrive.